Welcome back! We've reached level 11 of Pit of 100 Tiles, and this level is called Four Corners, and it's pretty much the first major challenge of this level set. Now, one thing I didn't mention in the previous video about level 10 is that Agimium has tried to make every 10th level an action level, if you will. So something that involves a lot of fast movement or dodging or something to that nature. However, this level is the first real giant challenge with a lot of different tasks. And it's not really all that hard, but it is compared to what we've seen so far in the set. And I just died right there because I was being very careless. So let's try that again. So this room involves getting a bug killed in the water, so let's go ahead and do that. Alternatively, you could snatch a block away from it and trap it in a loop, but I prefer to get rid of monsters whenever possible. So let's go ahead and bridge across the water into the second room, and this one involves bugs circling around and one over there inside, so we're going to have to be really careful about that. And that should do the trick. So now it's just a matter of pushing blocks. Now, as you probably noticed when we went through that teleport, it's designed such that when you go through it in various ways, you'll end up in a different area. So that first one, we ended up on the right exit, and so we're going to have to take the other direction. So I think I'm going to try to go clockwise. So the next teleport will be going down through. And it looks like we're finally done with this room. I think this is the hardest room, if I'm not mistaken. Just a bit of simple dodging, and looks like it will be the same thing here. And we're out. So this time we'll go down, and we got a bit of an ice maze here to conquer. Now, it looks like we're going to have to start flipping some toggle switches there, so let's work on that. Okay, so we got some gliders and some blocks. I think you see what we have to do here. Now, we can use one block to direct them into the room, but we're going to have to bring another in here to take into that room. There we go, that should do the trick. And we can now go back here. Thankfully, I actually timed that well. And we are out of this room, so let's go this way. And it looks like we've got kind of a Trinity-esque maze here with lots of different paths on force floors. Let's see, I totally took the wrong path there. I need to go this way. And now we need to open the red door. This will grant us access to a yellow key and a chip. And we can use the yellow key to go to green key. And we can get out of this room. Yay. And finally this one. Looks like we got some tank dodging to do here, and thankfully the frequency of the button presses is not too much. There we go. Just need to open the door to allow this tank some breathing room. And we got a few balls to worry about here. Alright, we are now done with Four Corners. Very good level. I really like the variety, although that bug block thing in that one room might be a bit much for beginners, but it is still pretty reasonable. Alright, Repair the Maze is the next level. Use these 5 keys to remove the 3 walls that make this maze impossible. Now, as this hint kind of implies, there are 2 extra keys, which means that we can actually use them to create some shortcuts. Like that, for instance. I really like this level a lot. It's probably one of my favorite levels in the set, and I will definitely vote it into CCLP 1. It's definitely going to be an interesting one to optimize as well, because of the extra keys that you can use. That is yet another thing I like about this set, is that there are extra things for the most part in each of the levels. Well, we found the exit, but we still have lots of chips to get, so let's work on that. Thankfully, the doors that you need to open are pretty obvious, like that one right there. You just have to make sure that you don't accidentally open yellow doors, or not yellow doors, red doors, when you don't need to. So right there, I do need to get that one. And there's one over here, chip-wise, I haven't gotten. And let's go this way. Now, I will be honest, I've been on autopilot here and I completely forgot where we haven't been. We've been there. We haven't been there. Let's just go and open that. We've gone ahead and taken care of the 3 doors that needed to be opened, so let's go ahead and take care of the ones that don't need to be opened. And we are done with Repair the Maze. Very good level. Dig and Dig. This level, as you might be able to tell from the area up here and some of the content below, is inspired by Dig Dug, the arcade game. And it's a very nice Dig Dug tribute, I must say. Go ahead and release this guy. And kind of create a pickle for myself there. There we go. Teeth down there, and I'm going to try to lure him into the bomb. There we go. Go and get the glider without interrupting him, and the ball here. Also a bug here, supposedly, or I would think to mirror the paramecium. And it looks like we are finished. I don't know if there's an exit over here or not. Yes, there is. Great level. I really enjoyed that. Pinball. Well, let's see what this does for us here. Totally missed some of the chips there, but I think we can go back. If we lose, we can go down here to the teleport, and I just died, so let's go ahead and just start over. If you missed any chips on the way up the plunger lane, you can return there the same way a real pinball would. Okay. We just saw that that exit there at the bottom. But for now, let's go ahead and find those keys, as well as go ahead and take care of these chips here. There's a toggle button there. I'll go ahead and leave it pressed for now and see what it does for us. There's another exit from up there. More chips to get. I really like these ball patterns here. They kind of look like flashing lights. And there's the exit to the plunger. I'm going to go and clear this room out first. I'm going to go ahead and just say it right now. The purple dominance here reminds me a lot of Waluigi Pinball from Mario Kart. I really like these slides too. It really makes it look like there's a bunch of lights that are just running around. Of course, they could be balls as well in the context of the whole pinball theme. But they could also be pinball machine lights as well, just flashing around. And thankfully that toggle button press worked to our advantage, so we can go up here, or down here, depending on how you look at it, and get all the keys we need, which is good. And I missed the exits. Well, let's not miss it this time. There we go. And let's go ahead and head up to this path and get out. So, pinball completed. Very good level. Definitely would recommend it for CCLP1. Very nice aesthetic. I like the blue walls too. Nitroglycerin. Looks like we got a bunch of fireballs here, and they need to be released to destroy some bombs for us. Although, contrary to what you might think, there really isn't a whole lot of strategy that is involved with that. You just need to get to the buttons when you can get to them. There's no shenanigans involving the chips and when you need to take them. So let's go ahead and press this one. And And that released fireball number 1, and we can now pass through into the next room. There's also another button that we missed up there, so let's go ahead and take care of that. That should be button number 3. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe most, if not all, of the bombs are in this straight line here. There might be one exception to that, though, but I think most of them are in this line. Release another fireball, and we can move onward. This is a very nice concept. It's a good idea for a maze, and the way the bombs are placed, it just feels very organic. I really like it a lot. Yes, so we need to go to the left area there, because there's no more bombs on that column that we've been using the fireballs on. So if I'm not mistaken, they will turn, let's see, this way. They turn right over here. And we can now get more. So let's see where this one goes. There we go. I really like this level. I know I keep saying about just about every level, but just the style and the feel, I mean, it just somehow just feels right. It's just a very nice composition. And we are now done with Nitroglycerin, another winning entry. Very good stuff. The Forever Belt is next. This is actually one of my favorite levels in the set. Very well designed. It's mainly an item swapper, but it's a very fun item swapper. Let's see if we can get a blue key with that. We still haven't seen a blue door yet, if I've been keeping track, but here's one here. And we can get at least to half of this double maze type thing. And we now go into the spinning vortex of terror. Or at least just a very interesting looking force slide. But I gotta say, I like how it opens up into this large room. I like levels that do that, where you're starting to explore and it's very confined, and then you find a larger area. That's one of the things I really liked about the original level called Vortex, as well as some other ones too. And I'm totally missing a bunch of stuff there, but we'll come back and get to it. Because this is the belt that never ends. Okay. Ah, I just totally missed it again. Okay, there's nothing else here except for those chips, so let's spin back into the teleport and do this then now. There we go. Now we can get the red key. Okay. We can also get this too. Let's see what's behind here. There's a ball and a chip down there. Is there anything up there? I don't know. Yes, there's another chip. Good. Thankfully, plenty of breathing room here, which is really welcome. Like, that thin wall up there didn't even need to be there. Well, no, I guess it did need to be there. So let's press this. I think that clones a ball, which will toggle those walls. And we can get to this as well. I guess I had missed this the first time around. And let's go and get these. This will take a little while, but thankfully it's painless though. I suppose I could have cloned more balls, but it's alright. And yellow door time. Those are the last chips, so we can now proceed onwards, the exits, and get these suction boots, which will allow us to get there. Now we can walk on the belt. I like it when levels do that, when you have this thing that you have to constantly go on, like a force slide or an ice slide or something, and then at the end you can just walk all over the whole thing and see it, like Ice Death, for instance. Alright, laser sweep is next. Well, this certainly sounds interesting. Avoid the security lasers that sweep through every 6 seconds with a warning click 1 second before. Grab 6 keys and 4 chips in the hallway. This is a very fun level, and I almost just got totally hit by those lasers. This is actually one of my favorite concepts in the set. It's very well done, and I really like it a lot. And thankfully it's reasonably set up in terms of difficulty too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the level that when I played through in Lynx, I actually had some trouble with because there's a bug in Tile World that sometimes allows toggle doors to be switched when you start a level in Lynx. And with this level, that allowed these fireballs to clone just about constantly, which totally messed my run up for a little while until I figured out that I needed to restart the whole thing. But like I said, thankfully it wasn't a big deal and I was able to solve it. And we can now exit here. These lasers thankfully go both ways, half left and half right. And we can now exit. So I like the fact that the harder section was the first one and that the second section was a little bit easier. And the 2 halves thing is very reminiscent of CC1, like Problems, for instance. Like I like how that level had 2 distinct halves, and this one does as well. Very great concepts. Love the implementation. Love the fire and how it's placed. It's just a very well crafted level, and I would be very happy to vote it into CCLP1. Cross-eyed. Whenever you enter a teleport, you'll come out of the next one in reverse reading order that has room for you to land. So yeah, this level just basically teaches you about how teleports work. And it's not exactly the most exciting level. It's probably the first level in the set that I really didn't like so much, but it's still a reasonable level. I mean, it's not a bad level in any way. So yeah, we're just going to be going around getting chips. And that's probably going to take a while. There's probably a really systematic way to go through all this, and I'm probably just totally missing that. So I'm just going to try to just boost my way through, see what happens. I don't think that's going to work. Let's try this. Okay, I guess that's not going to work. Let's see here. I'm trying to enter a teleport. Yes, there we go. It seems like I'm going to have to change on each row if this keeps up. This is a little bit irritating, but it's thankfully, like I said, the size of this level is pretty reasonable. It could have been extended to fill the whole map, and that would have been really difficult, but this is not that bad. Okay. Got that. Okay, there we go. Now things are starting to work. This, however, we need to go down here to do that. Okay. Oh, and I totally missed the top row. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's go back up there again. Okay, I don't know exactly how we're going to pull this off. I suppose I see how we can do it from the previous row, though, so let's try that. One more, and there. Now we can get this chip. And these ones. Let's see. How are we going to do this? There we go. And I just need to get that one, so how are we going to do that? There we go. Alright, so I've gotten all the chips now, so we can go through the sockets. Let's just see how we can get back there. There we go. We can get down here directly. And there is apparently a partial post here at the very end. Well, that ought to be fun. So let's just block up the teleport here and proceed onward to the exits. And boom, we are now done with Cross-Eyed. Descending Ceiling. Oh, this is a fun level. I really like this a lot. Basically, the tanks all go up and down, and you have to avoid them when they come down. It's a very nice concept. There's these walls that protect you here, which is really cool. And here, there's a bit of a challenge with this toggle wall here. And because the toggle button is being pressed by the tanks, you have to be careful with that. Which I was not in that case. And I was also not careful there either. Okay, let's try this again. Now, if I remember correctly, this gets really strict toward the end, but as long as you wait and be patient, you shouldn't have a problem with it. There we go. There's a chip here protecting us now, which is kind of like a one-way protection. And there's some chips here, and a couple up there that we're going to need to get. And now we just got one left, and it's over here, but we need a block to get down there. Or flippers. Either one works. Now the challenge is going to be to get up, since the exits are up there, but we can just sneak on through, which is not too difficult. Alright, and level 20, Chip Kart 64. This I really like a lot. It's a fun, just fast-paced level, and there's a lot of different ways you can go about solving it, and ways you can save time and find shortcuts. Now, as the name implies, it's a tribute to Mario Kart 64, which has a lot of those things, shortcuts and whatnot. And you don't actually need all the chips here, but if you do get them, there's a nice shortcut you can get toward the end. Like this right here. We don't have to go through that whole thin wall ordeal. And we can use the yellow key to get past all that. And we're going to need to go back through here again, so let's go ahead and take care of that next. Now, thankfully, the time limits, especially in Microsoft, is not that bad. And let's go through here again. Boost our way past all the obstacles and exit. Very fun level. I really like it a lot. Our next level is Through the Looking Glass, and we'll take it on in the next video.